I remember my very first interview that landed me that PT Aide job. But I remember as I was preparing for that interview, there was so much doubt, uncertainties, and so much anxiety as I was preparing. I knew that getting this aide position helped me move forward in my physical therapy application process, and I needed these observation hours. And I just wished that someone made a concise video that taught me the key points of the interview and just what to look out for. And so in this video, that's exactly what we are going to cover so that we can ease your anxiety and raise your confidence. So in this video, we're going to be going over 3 different topics. The first one being, what can you do to impress your interviewer? Number 2, questions that the interviewer will ask you. And 3, questions you can ask the interviewer. Let's get into it. Lego. Hey everyone, what's going on? My name is Dr. Live for Change, physical therapist, or you can call me Justin Lee. Here on this channel, you'll find everything related to physical therapy, including the application process, to being a PT student, to being a working physical therapist. And you'll also find videos on how to be a high-performing student. So if you're interested in the awesome world of physical therapy, and you're also interested in performing and achieving high things as a student, whether you're in the application process, the pre-PT, or the PT student life, then you should subscribe to my channel and hit those notifications so you don't miss a video when it drops. Also, you guys, I am super excited to announce that I started a private Facebook group. It's called LEVATOR Nation. Now, this group is for anyone that's interested in physical therapy at all, and it's for people who are interested in achieving more for themselves, for better wealth, for better finances, better fitness and nutrition, better education, and a better life. So if you're a student interested in physical therapy and you also aspire for better or for greatness, then I encourage you to get into this freaking group, because we are LEVATOR Nation. We are levators, because the levator muscle, when it flexes, it turns its head towards the muscle belly. And as levators, when we flex, we turn our heads towards greatness. Oh, that was freaking good. Can I get a like for that? Guys, I'm excited for this group. We are going live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Every Tuesday, it's a question and answer live event for you so that we can interact or just talk about physical therapy or anything related to that. So make sure you get in that group, get involved, and let's freaking make this community. Let's be LEVATOR Nation. Okay, that's enough of that. Thank you for your patience. We're gonna get right into this. We're going straight into number 1, how to impress your interviewer. Now, I'm gonna break this down first into the first part, which is gonna be talking about the qualities that the interviewer is looking for. So these qualities are basically the ideal employee or volunteer as a PT aide, and that you should try to model yourself as these qualities and have these qualities for yourself. And I broke this down into, of course, Aide, a mnemonic, A-I-D-E, okay? And follow these with me here. Okay, so number 1A, we're gonna be talking about being adaptable, adaptability. Right? So adaptability as a PT aide, you're gonna be encountering a lot of different jobs, tasks. You're gonna be asked to come here and then say, oh no, wait, you can't be here right now at this hour. We actually have to go over there. We need you over here. So your job, you're kind of flexible to do a lot of different things, even stuff at the front desk. Anyone, if you've been a PT aide and you have to do a lot of front desk work, put it in the comments below. Thank goodness I didn't have to do anything, but I've seen some of the aides that handle that, and it's a lot of work. But anyway, adaptability. Make sure you're adaptable and you're okay with all these sudden changes, because that's definitely a big characteristic that you're gonna need to have. Okay, AI. I is going to be interpersonal skills. Now, interpersonal skills is the way that we communicate and interact with each other. So I thought about 3 different things that I think are high on the priority list when you need to have very good interpersonal skills. And that is number 1, you need to be an active listener. And this is something I'm still working on, of course. My wife teaches me every single day. Yes, honey, I know, I hear you, I see you. And use reflective listening. See the things you learn when you're married. But yes, active listening. You have to be able to take in what they're saying and recite it back to show them that you are understanding what they're talking about. And as patients and as you as a future physical therapist, that's going to be really important. Active listening. Next, we're going to do be able to communicate appropriately. Now, this means that you have to know how to talk, right? Talk, obviously, with verbal communication, but also non-verbal communication as well. You have to know how to be upright and hold your posture in a positive way, but also read when a patient is down and needs some encouragement. You need to know how to motivate someone at the right time, but also have compassion at the most appropriate times. And all of this is important and related to interpersonal skills. And lastly, you got to make sure teamwork. You got to make sure you have good teamwork with not only your colleagues and your boss and your company, but also teamwork with the patient as well. Sometimes patients will come in and they'll need a bunch of equipment, and they're going to rely on you to get all the equipment ready and kind of help them go through their exercises, or help the physical therapist help them go through their exercises. Okay, so that is I for interpersonal skills. D is going to be detail-oriented. Now, detail-oriented, like I mentioned, as an aide, you're going to be doing a lot of different things. So you have to make sure you're on track and you're able to get those things done. So definitely prioritizing different tasks that you have to do throughout the day. You want to make sure you can either do all of them or write it down. Like I said, you'll be sent over to the front at some times, and then you'll be sent over to the back to do some workouts with some patients, and then you'll be moved over because they need to do some laundry or fold the clothes or things like that. So make sure you're detail oriented. And lastly, E is going to be the ability to be eager to learn and grow. And I think this is by far the most important characteristic, not only as an aide, but as a student, as a PT student, and as a physical therapist or any other profession. You always want to be eager to grow and level up. You know, Sierra got it right.
3, 2, 1, level up, level up, love. All this on me so yummy.
Level up, level up, level up, right? So you always want to be able to level up in life, and I would hate it to look back at, if I'm an aide and look back a year from today and be like, man, I really didn't grow the last year of my life. And some of you who are watching and are aides right now, you might be thinking that, you know, you had your 1,000 hours already, and then you look back another year and you did another 1,000. It's like, well, did you really grow in that time, or are you just kind of going through the motions? Okay, and the last 2 points on ways to impress your interviewer is number 1, be really confident and have a lot of clarity in why you want to go into physical therapy. Because if you can portray and communicate just the sole authentic reason why you want to get into physical therapy, and you're able to share that with your interviewer, they're going to connect with you in that way, and it's going to be a more meaningful interview process than just like a cookie cutter answer. And also you want to, if you can, you want to try to understand physical therapy a little bit more. So you can throw out some terminologies that you've learned. And especially if you have a niche or a niche that you're interested in like pelvic floor, neurology, maybe you can talk a little bit about that to whoever's interviewing you, and they'll be super impressed. They're like, wow, this like 20-year-old or this person in college is asking about these types of questions. This is like higher level thinking than even just physical therapy students, doctor of physical therapy students. Wow, I'm impressed. Okay, so we're marching on. Now we're gonna get into some possible interview questions that you might be asked when you're interviewing as a PT aide. So let's go over them and let's try to answer some of them as well and give you some strategies on how to do that. Okay, so the first question they might ask is, what personal skills or traits would make you a good member of our team? Now, this might be good because now they're trying to ask you like, okay, how is this person gonna contribute to the company? So try to think of a way where your strength, you have some kind of strength, right? Your personality, where you can talk about your strength and how you can connect it to teamwork, right? How you can connect it to teamwork with your team colleagues, but also with patients, right? Because they want to know what you can bring to the table. Here's another question. How do you talk to someone who is not working well with you? So they're trying to see, how is this person's conflict resolution? Now, you got to go into this knowing that you're not going to be like the head honcho, you're not the owner, you're not a physical therapist, you're like the bottom of the food chain, right? As an aide. So when you have a conflict, when someone is not working well with you, whether it be the patient or a colleague, they want to know, how are you going to respond to that? So I would hope that you would have some good conflict resolution skills. Obviously, you want to approach it with an open mind, right? So answer is saying that you want to approach this with an open mind. You want to try to verbally communicate and be authentic and talk about this with whoever you have a conflict with, and then come to a conclusion so both parties are met, and that you guys can prevent or avoid a situation like that again in the future. Oh, and here's a really good one that I think would be a great question, is how do you motivate patients? Now, as a PT clinic, right, you're gonna be having to motivate patients all the time. No one enjoys working out unless you're a part of LEVATOR Nation. You know what I'm saying? Lift for change. Anyway, so no one really likes working out, especially if you're a patient. And so you as an aide who's not the physical therapist are in this position. You're like, well, how would I motivate patients? How would I motivate them to do stuff? And so I think this is a great question to ask. And I think you should come up with your own answer to figure out what you do personally to motivate other people. For me, I like to motivate my voice. I like to motivate my tone, my posture, kind of get in on them, right? I like to tap on their muscles. I like to say, come on, okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna get this done. After this, we're gonna take a little break. And then right after, we're gonna try to bump it up a little bit more so that we can get to here. Are you okay with that? Are you game? And when I get their consent, it's like, okay, we're gonna stick to the game plan. So that's how I motivate patients, but how do you motivate patients? And a couple more just to add to the list is, why do you want to work or volunteer here at this specific clinic? And where do you see yourself in a few years? So these questions are asking you so that they can get to know you a little bit more and what you want for your future. What are your aspirations? So I hope those interview questions helped. If they did help you and give you some insights to provoke some of your thoughts, give this video a like, please. And if you have some friends that are waiting to anticipate a PT aide interview, make sure you share this with them at this time. All right, let's move on to number 3. Now, this is the last and most important part because this is kind of your last impression. And this is the time when you get to ask a question to the clinic. Now, this is a very essential time and you should never, ever, ever leave an interview without saying anything or asking a question. You should always ask at least one question. Okay. Now this is a time for you to ask and be open about what the company is all about. So you can ask about their benefits, the pay, what's your position, how many hours you're going to be working, things like that, what's your commitment. You can ask those types of questions, and that's totally fair. But I thought of a list that you can ask that might be a little bit more thought-provoking to the owner or whoever is interviewing you, so that they can be like, whoa, whoa. Did you just ask that question? You kind of stand out to me because I've never been asked that question before. So here's the list. What types of demographics or patients or diagnoses are seen at this clinic? What is the culture at this clinic? What is the culture of the demographics of the clinic? And how do you guys merge the cultures together so that you guys can work and improve and create good quality care? How long has each physical therapist been working here? And are any of them willing to give a letter of recommendation? What does this company do for fun group activities for increasing camaraderie besides meetings? Do they have dinners? Do you guys do parties? Do you guys do gatherings, volunteer, local fun runs? What does this company do to stay physically active? As physical therapists, we preach exercise, so I would hope this company does something for exercise or to stay active. What does this company do? Yeah boy. Those questions are like, yeah, if you ask an owner some of those questions, they'll definitely be thrown aback and really remember you, because you'll leave a lasting impression on them. Now, getting a job as a PT aide or a volunteer during this time of COVID-19, yeah, it's a little bit hard. And guess what? I'm actually coming out with a video. My next video is going to talk about how to get a observation hours during COVID-19. So make sure you are subscribed and you hit those notifications so you don't miss when that video drops. And if you have any questions throughout the rest or throughout this entire video, make sure you comment below. Let's talk, right? And I just want to know, question for you. If you're a physical therapy aide, what is your experience working as an aide? What do you think? What do you think are qualities that make a good aide? So I want to know, put it in the comments below. Guys, I also do, if you guys are preparing for a Zoom interview, I also prepare you to help to prepare for a Zoom interview. So I do one-on-one coaching through Zoom to talk about possible interview questions, talk about how you should answer, what are they looking for, to look over your resume, and to see where you can really strengthen your and capitalize on your points, and also to build confidence so that you can crush that Zoom interview. So if you're interested in that, I do have the link below so that you can book me and schedule me, and we'll get all of that squared away. If you're a student interested in applying to physical therapy school and you're wondering how do I even start and where do I focus on and how should I strategize my years through freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year so that I can strengthen my application the best way so that I can get accepted into my dream school PT program, if that's you, I have an online course out right now that teaches you everything you need to know to get accepted into DPT school. So that's also in the description below. So I hope this video helped inspire you if you're interested in becoming a physical therapy aide so that you can look into these different qualities and different ways that you can impress your interviewer and so that you can ace that interview. Thank you for watching. Stay lifting, stay aloha. Have a great one, you guys.